so we're starting, we're back. Hello. You came at like the very nice time. I literally just started the screen. Yeah, thanks for coming again. So I got a bit confused on my progress. Apparently, I thought that I was in the middle of case 3 of the second game, but turns out we're actually at we are at case 2. So yeah, I'll fix my thumbnails later on. I can give a little summary of what went on so far. So for, I don't know if you know, but for the Ace Attorney Chronicles, it's actually 2 games in one with the same protagonist. Well, the same bunch of characters basically, not just the protagonist. Yeah. So I've already completed the first game. Should I adventure? So basically, the first game is Ace Attorney Adventures, which I finished already. Second game is Ace Attorney Resolve, which I'm in the middle of doing, and they are kind of connected in that they have an overarching main plot line, which actually ended at a cliffhanger at the end of the first game. So yeah, it's in a way it's more like a very long single game rather than 2 split games, which is why they bundle it together as well. So I could give a summary of what happened. Basically, okay, first thing first, are you familiar with the characters at least? They actually included like art book in the game. It's quite cool. Yeah. So this is our main character now. Okay, so I'll try to give a TLDR of all the cases so far. Then I've been playing like I would say I'm playing with my friends, but basically my friends are all playing the game together as well, and like I am one of like the slowest ones. So they already know all the endgame spoilers. Yeah, I don't know anything. I avoided all the spoilers so far. So this is our main character. He's the Phoenix Wright of this game, and basically also actual Phoenix Wright ancestor. This game is set in the Meiji Restoration period, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So what happened is that the main character in the very first case of the first game, he was accused of murdering his professor, which we obviously know he's not a culprit lah. If not, he won't be here. He won't be the main character. He won't be a protagonist at all. But he was accused of murdering his professor in a restaurant. And this guy, his friend from school, encouraged, due to some policies of the school, because everyone was very convinced that our protagonist was the main killer, right? If his friend defended him, and the friend was like very adamant on like insisting on to defend him, but if the friend did that and he was actually proven to be guilty, which is like a very big gamble for people who don't know, then this guy will lose his only chance of like a very prestigious scholarship, and like our main character didn't want that to happen, so he defended himself, but had his friend Kazuma basically like guide him along in court lah, because the friend is a law student. Our main character is just like some general like gen ed student in a way, so he didn't really know what to do. So he successfully defended himself, and then turns out the killer was a British exchange student. Yeah, with the way of Ace Attorney, right? Yeah, so turns out the killer was a British lady and who was an exchange student from Britain. What am I talking about? And then she poisoned the professor, but we don't know why she did that. So at the end of the case, we proved that we are not guilty, but because the British government was like, hey, you can't do that to one of our people. If you want to punish her, deport her to us. So we couldn't like prosecute her for it. So she kind of got away from the whole crime scot-free, which is kind of annoying. Yeah. I need to go back to the chapter to like refresh on what the chapters are. I remember the events, but I don't remember what chapter. So yeah, that's the first one. So after we defended ourselves, our friend Aso Kazuma had to go to his own exchange trip to Britain to study to be study British law lah, basically. So they got on board the ship, and then when the chapter started, our friend was found dead on the floor. Unfortunate, very unfortunate. So we we were found in the we was yeah. I'm spoiling you all of this now. So we were actually stowing away with him illegally because our friend was just like, hey, why don't you come along with us? But we are like, but we are not allowed there. We are not a law student, and they only allowed like one student. So our friend was just like, well, if you stow away, no one will find out. and I want like my best friend with me for like who knows how long I'll be spending in Britain. So that's why we were hiding away in his room. And then because no one expected us to be in his room. Yeah, this game from what my friends are telling me, this game is pretty dark. Yeah, actually it hasn't actually been like that light-hearted ever since the original trilogy. Like the sequel trilogy after the first 3 games were actually, I wouldn't say completely dark, but it was not that light-hearted anymore. And this game is like quite serious, yeah. In between like, all the comedy, of course lah. So our friend was found murdered, dead rather. And because when they opened the cupboard, we kind of like fell out of it. So nope, things happened to me, buddy. Yeah, we kind of fell out of the cupboard. So they were like, oh shit, if you are hiding in this locked room, that the room in the ship was locked. So that means obviously the only logical conclusion that you are the murderer. But we defended ourselves, obviously because we want to defend ourselves, and also because we wanted to unveil the truth of like our BFF's murder. Then we found out it was actually a very unfortunate case of misunderstanding and accidental murder. Like the culprit actually didn't intend to kill him, but the culprit wanted to just so the culprit was another stowaway, and she was like running from like a crime, if I remember correctly. She was running from a crime. So because she was when she met our friend, she asked him like, are you going to rat me out now? If you rat me out, I'm like totally screwed. So like please don't. So our friend was just like, okay, I understand your situation, but hold on a minute. There's someone I want to consult with first regarding your situation. So the culprit thought that the someone was like a crew member of the boat lah. So she was like, oh shit. So she hit him with something, and that she accidentally killed him. But the reality was that he was going to the cupboard to open it up and wake us up, his friend, and be like, okay, what do you think we should do now? Do we let her stay, or do we like hand her over to like the staff? But he was actually going to like keep quiet about it. So it was a very unfortunate case of accidental well, I wouldn't say accidental, but unplanned, wrong place, wrong time murder. Yeah. So because of that now, the agreement with Britain was that they needed to have a Japanese student to study law from them no matter what. So but since the original student was dead, we are just like, well, that means the exchange trip is now a failure. We all have to go home. But the assistant girl that we were with, which is the professor's daughter, by the way, Susato-san, where is she? She's very cute. Susato-san is very cute. Yeah. Portrait. Here. This is our assistant for game. She's basically the Maya Fei of the game lah. So she was supposed to accompany our best friend. Yeah, I'm Japanese. That's basically what happened. She was supposed to accompany our best friend. So she was there legally, but because she thought the trip now fell through with like the guy did, they had to go back, and now we were just like, oh no, if we go back then your own dreams will also be ruined, and we didn't want that to happen. And we also wanted to like carry on our friend's legacy lah. So we're just like, hey, if you only need a Japanese guy, can we like take his place instead? And then you have to so for the rest of the trip, she really had grilled us on all the Japanese law, like on how to be like a lawyer very thoroughly, so that when we exited the ship, we could go to the embassy of Britain and be like, hey, this is what happened, very unfortunate, but don't cancel the trip, we can replace our friend. Yeah. So for the third case, that's basically what happened. We told the embassy, we are going to replace our friend, will you accept our situation, since it was like very unprecedented and unexpected. So the head of the Justice Department, he's not here. I can't find his picture. Yeah, he's not here. The head of the British Justice Department was like, okay, if you want to do it, I don't mind letting you try, but obviously first you need to prove that you actually know how to get the job done. There's no point accepting you if you can't do shit, ma, correct? So he was like, okay, we have this case that's going on right now, literally right now, and no one wants to defend him. So if you can get that guy innocent verdict, he very carefully specified an innocent verdict. If you get this guy an innocent verdict, we will approve your request to replace your friend. So we went off to the court case. It was this millionaire magnate businessman. Yeah. Aha! I see you get you understand my wording. Yes. The case was a hat maker was killed in a minibus. When they made minibus back then it was more like a carriage lah. So they called it a minibus, but imagine like a horse-driven carriage. So a guy was killed in there, and this businessman was the only one riding with him. But he was like, oh no, there's no way it could be me. I'm like very good. I donate to like city very often. Blah 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 blah. But when people see rich people, they like, yeah, you rich you must have a very good life, right? You just throw money and then you can get away with anything. So they don't understand me. This is why no one wants to defend me. Oh, I'm very sad. Ooh, cry. And then on top of that, the prosecutor was this guy. I like this guy a lot. My friends have seen me gone haywire for him. But anyway, this guy was like very notorious. It was a very notorious prosecutor. They call him like the Reaper of Death or something like that lah. Some exaggerated name lah. Yeah, and then basically everyone who he prosecutes is found guilty for sure, which is also why no one wanted to defend our client, because they're just like, if we defend this client, we are going to lose for sure. Then our reputation will be broken, ma. So they're gonna leave him to die. But then the businessman also like, oh, actually, well, I do appreciate that you come and defend me, but actually you don't have to, because like you don't need to worry about it. Like, I'll escape from here no matter what. So we're just like, at first we were like, okay, does that mean that you are really that confident in your innocence? So we're going to believe in you. As the story progresses, turns out the reason why he was so confident is of course because he falsified evidence. Yeah, he faked the evidence to accuse someone else, and he knows it, and he bribed like the law officers, like the police and stuff. So like he knew he was gonna get away with it lah, because like he really bought out the officers. Yeah. Very, very, very infuriating. Fucking hate that case. Irritating. So near the end of the case, we actually like, even at as a player ourselves, right? The main character, he also knew that his client was guilty already, but then because he couldn't prove, like, we know that he faked the evidence, but we couldn't prove for sure that it was specifically him who faked the evidence, because the client claimed that someone else faked the evidence for him instead, and he was like, oh, I didn't know anything about that, so it's not my fault, right? It just happened to be this way. So you should you need to get that guy to confess that he faked the evidence first before he can accuse me of anything. So he got away with it, and the prosecutor was very, very, very disappointed at us. And then we were like, oh shit, I mean, we got our innocent verdict, which was what we needed, but at what cost? Yeah, basically at what cost? So, and then at the end of the case, the irritating fucking asshole was like, ha, thank you. You see, I knew I could count on you to get my innocent verdict. You didn't worry so much. Now you can go back to the head justice guy and then be like, oh, I've gotten the innocent verdict that you want, so now you can promote me. Basically, he's very smart about it. Then one of the staff, police officers working at the courthouse was like, hey client, could you like come with me for a moment here? The judge wants to speak with you about something. So the client was laughing. He went away. We were very, very irritated. And then end of chapter cutscene, there was the minibus in question was on fire, and there was banging coming from inside. So we were like, yes, the client got caught someone trying to hide the crime. Like, it's part of like greater picture that even now we don't know what's going on. Yeah, he pretended to be a police officer, locked the guy inside the carriage and set it on fire to kill him, to dispose of evidence. karma is sweet. Yes, karma is very sweet. But even yeah, it's like, hi Amy. Well, I'm just like TLDing the case for now right now because I'm like starting the middle of the case. So, is it will be a spoiler though? Yeah. If it's a spoiler, avoid the TLDR for a while. So for the fourth case, okay, I remember. So this fourth case right now is actually directly linked to the case that we are going to go next. Hi, yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for the follow too. Thank you. It's Adoni. It's fun. We're just like we're gonna start like the second game, case 2. I made a mistake. It's case 2, not case 3. But because I played all the previous cases off stream, I'm just like summarizing what went on because it's certainly Chronicles is actually like a part of a very it's like there's a lot of individual cases, but it's actually one very massive link case. So I thought like a TLDR was like quite important to understand what's going on. So for the first game, fourth case, it was interestingly enough, no one actually died. But what we had to like examine in court was like a case where someone almost died. So this was one of like one of the cases where you feel very bad for the people involved because it was actually not a planned murder at all. It was a very bad case of wrong place, wrong time. And anger management, I suppose. So the story is that there was this street and a lady was walking through the street and passing underneath one of the buildings when she was stabbed from behind by someone, and then we don't know who did it. So they accused Natsume Soseki, dead Natsume Soseki, correct, of the crime, and then we were just like, no, he didn't do it. So because Natsume Soseki was like, it's like a one lone Japanese man in Britain, and so like super racism, right? So no one wanted to defend him. So he was also like hallucinating a lot of things. So as a fellow Japanese man, we agreed to defend him because we also felt very bad for him. And then turns out through the story, we found out that it was really wrong place, wrong time. So what happened in the story is that this woman was passing through a street, and back in those days, the London police, their patrol routes are called beats, like BEATS, and each officer has a very carefully like marked out beat that they have to patrol every day. So this one police officer, he had a 1 year and like wedding anniversary dinner with his wife, and they were both like very poor, but the wife was like very like loyal to him lah. So he was very grateful to her for like sticking with him even though they're so poor. It's a very hard lifestyle, but the woman just like purely loves him, so it was very sweet. But then on the night of their anniversary dinner, he saw this woman accidentally get hit by a knife thrown out of a open window. So in the building above the woman, there was this old-ish / middle-aged couple who were arguing each other over a misunderstanding, and the wife had a bit of like temper management issues, and she was like flinging things out the window. So first she flung a book out of the window, and then when the woman passing by underneath saw the book land on the floor, she was like, oh, what's this? So she bent down to pick it up and like try and see what it was shown at. And then at the exact moment that she bent down, a knife got flung out the window and it hit her. That's how she got hit, open inverted commas, from behind while she was bent over. So she collapsed, and then at the exact moment the police officer saw that woman collapse like on his patrol route, and he was like, oh shit, if people realize that it's on my route, right, then my dinner with my wife is cancelled already, and like this is the one day I want to show appreciation to her no matter what. So he shifted the woman's body to across the road and pretended that that's where she was found stabbed instead lah. So that the whole confusion was trying to figure out why the woman got there and who did it. So yeah, it was just unfortunate. The woman just survived, and we're actually going to see her in like the case we're going to proceed with now. Yeah. Then the fifth case is, what's the fifth case? Actually, shit, I don't remember what's the fifth case. What is Ace Attorney? I'm pretty sure I know it, but I just can't remember. Ace Attorney Chronicles first game last case. I just cannot remember like the order of the stories. What's the last one? Hound on Baskervilles, right? Hound I just need to remember a story, that's all. Okay. Yeah, this case was a bit confusing, and it's very tightly linked to the overall mystery. So we actually befriended like Sherlock Holmes, who in this game is called Herlock Sholmes. They just reverse the letters. And then we're kind of like rooming in his attic. Literally. Our detective, our law officers is in his attic. So one day there's this pawn shop very near his house, and then one day there was like a break-in and a robbery. So then when we went to investigate the robbery, we were attacked by like the robber was running out of the place and injured Holmes. Yeah, he adopted us. It's actually kind of cute. And Holmes actually so in this series, right, you know Watson is like there's Holmes and there's Watson. The Watson you would imagine from like the classical tales, right, is actually the professor who got killed in the very first case of the game, but we only discovered this in like the Baskervilles case. Yeah. So and that Watson, it is a spoiler. Then again, spoiling the entire game. Yeah. The Watson was the main character's professor who got killed in like the very first game, and he sorry. No. Okay, I'll actually okay. That's actually the only other major thing I can spoil you so far, because I don't know the overall mystery myself either. Like that's the only thing I know, literally. Sorry. So Watson has his like a daughter, like his own actual daughter, Iris Wilson, and because the dad was like forced to leave Britain and go to Japan ever since he was young. So Holmes actually raised Iris like his own daughter since she was a baby. It's very, very, very precious. Like this relationship is super, super cute. Papa and daughter. But Iris is a legend genius. so like who's the one raising who? she's like the main breadwinner also. so according to like the game, right, the classical like Sherlock Holmes stories are actually Iris writing fantasy novels about Holmes and her father based off diaries that her real father left behind. Yeah. so it's like slightly exaggerated. It's very cute. But then so when going back to the last case of the first game, the Holmes actually stored this very important diary from her, like a novel that Iris wrote based on one of her father's diaries, with the pawn shop, and he was just like, no matter what, you are not allowed to publish this book, because if you publish this book, right, shit will happen lah, but we don't know what kind of shit will happen. Yeah, but he was very like serious about it. So when we went to check the pawn shop, like it's like the manuscript still there, we found the pawn shop owner killed, and then the culprit is the girl from the carriage on fire case who helped to falsify the evidence. Yeah, we kind of like took her in and forced her to be friends with us. Yeah. So because she was like she's like a street urchin, so people were like very suspicious of her lah. They're just like, if you you must be the one who killed the guy, because like no one's gonna trust you. So this girl she's very like suspicious of adults, because she's been like ostracized and like looked down on by adults her entire life. So she also didn't really want to trust us. But then we were just like, okay, if you don't trust us, right, you're literally screwed now. So like, can you please just let us defend you? So we literally freaking begged her to let us defend her, man. TLDR, we solved the case. The suspicious yourself. Okay, so TLDR, yeah, we solved the case. And the culprit was the culprit was, I don't know how he's linked to the overall mystery, to be honest, but he's a guy working with the government who's in charge of deciphering you know how telegrams are sent in Morse code back then, right? Yeah, he's one of those guys who deciphers those telegrams and send them in Morse code. So because of that, he's actually very privy to a lot of like governmental information that they want to keep secret. And for some reason, the item that he needs from the pawn shop actually contains like very important government information that he sold to someone. He sold to the guy who died in the fire carriage. And so he was just like, I need to recover that by all costs, because if I don't, I'm like screwed beyond screwed. So that's why he killed the pawn shop guy, to sort of like snatch it back lah, in a way. So that's it. We don't know how it relates to the entire case. But then at the end of the entire game, they were just like, we went to decipher the telegram that he wanted to steal back no matter what. And then it was just like, we need to like get in touch with important people. Number one, Watson, who that we then realized was dead, and also our dead best friend. Yeah, so we're just like, why do you need, like, what is this big mystery that involves our best friend? We don't know. So and our assistant's father, these three people, like, very important. So we are trying to figure out how they're all linked now, what mystery they're trying to achieve, and that's where the game ended. very cliffhanger ending. Then so the second game, first case. So remember the British student from the first case who poisoned our professor / Watson and got away with it, right? Yeah. So like we all knew, she never actually got punished for it because she was there on like some special circumstances that from the country lah. So they were going to like slap her wrist and like be done with it. For some reason, she this time was the victim of the case. Like she got killed by someone. So we're just like, why? Literally why lah? Like we don't like that you got away scot-free murder, but at the same time, we still need to find out why you were murdered. So turns out it was because like literally karma in this game is very sweet indeed. So turns out it was a newspaper reporter. He knew about the case in like that should involve in, and he didn't like that lah. Neither did we. But he decided to be like a vigilante and take it upon his own hands. So he asked her like, what do you feel about like committing your crime? Like I know what you did. I know you got away with it. Like, and I'm not gonna let you get away with it. And the woman was like, well, what can you do? Like she taunted him, and the guy was like, screw you. So he stabbed her. Yeah, so the summary of the case when we dealt with him was like, yeah, we know that she's shit. We know that what she did wasn't right, but what you did was not right either. That was it. The first case was quite, you know, I wouldn't say basic. I'm sure it's still linked to the overall case, but it's not one of the bigger mysteries, I guess. Yeah, but we still don't know why the lady killed Watson. So and now that she's dead, obviously we can't ask her anymore. So that's like one like rock thrown into our plans. But that's pretty much about it. Yeah. And then at the end of the case, the only hint that she left for us was like, go and read back your records of the case of the case in Britain where go and read the case records of the Natsume Soseki case where the woman got stabbed like in a wrong place, wrong time situation. Yeah. And then we are kind of like flashbacking to it in a way. Yeah, so the second game, second 2 is a flashback to the past. Third case will probably be like back to like the present again. So I actually right started the case 2 of the second game, but it's like really only just started it. It's like the trial, the first start of the trial only. So I actually might have forgotten some parts of the introduction of the case. So I was thinking of just like starting from the beginning of the second case again. Yeah. No, I'll just start from like the. I might probably didn't miss that much, I think. Yeah. So that was the kind of like confusing TLDR. I tried my best. I tried my best to TLDR it with like the important information without like yeah. So this is the every chapter starts with like a mini novel excerpt, and that mini novel excerpt is basically what Iris writes based off the case. Like she dramatizes it. So it is not 100% canon to the actual events in the case. So it references it. It's kind of meant to like throw you off a little bit. Or what you think happens in like the actual game. And she writes in the perspective of like Watson, her father. So it's like you can say like that's where like the Sherlock Holmes books came from, basically. Like she writes the book pretending to be Watson, recounting it. その真相を看破するのだが、それは悲劇の舞台の幕開けを告げるプレリュードに過ぎなかったのである。Hey, so far what I remember of what I started so far, basically the woman who was injured in that case wakes up, and then now we are trying to find out why a room is haunted. I honestly don't know anything about this case so far myself. I just started it also, so yeah. Naruhodo. I mean, Phoenix right, Japanese name of Naruhodo as well. So in quite extraordinary circumstances, I made the acquaintance of a world famous detective. Yeah, this is our office in Holmes Ethic. Legal consultancy. So, oh yeah, our assistant temporarily went back to Japan. So like the previous case with like the vigilante guy, right, was actually the trial was defended. Is that the word for it? Defended by our assistant, who was dressed up as a guy. Yeah, cause the person who accused was her own best friend. So because like back then in those times, females weren't allowed to practice law ma, so she dressed up as a guy and pretended to be our cousin, you know, in order to like defend her own friend. So she has to like come back to like she wants to go back to Britain to help us, but her dad for some reason was like no. Yeah, her dad is involved in the bigger mystery, but we don't know how and why. He's like very determined to not let her come back to like Britain. Oh yeah, that's true. So you're saying, he's flashbacking, and he said that he hasn't been to like he hasn't been back in court for like 4 months, because at the end of like the last trial of the first game, our assistant kind of meddled with the crime scene in order to like determine, cause the the victim was hidden behind a locked room together with the girl who was accused. So, and she like, our assistant knew that something was going on behind the door, but she had no way of like proving it. So she used a device to cut a hole in the door to peek into it. And this actually ended up being like a very crucial part of the case because number one, because she made a hole that was not originally there, the culprit should not have known about the hole, but the fact that he did means that there was an insider in the court. And because our in order to deliberately trap him into like admitting his crime, our assistant like didn't tell us she made the hole, and she kept quiet about it herself. So we accidentally used fake evidence to trap him, which is a crime. Yeah, and so because that our assistant like feels like she didn't have like the rights to like be our assistant anymore lah. But they were like, no, you are still our assistant. So we kind of got our badge revoked. Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll go back eventually because we still have like 3 more cases to go, but I have no idea how that's gonna happen. They are all being looked after by like a 8-year-old girl. Is she 8? I forgot how old Iris is, but she's like primary schooler. Iris is so cute. Iris is super cute. Yeah, she's so freaking cute. She looks after like everyone in here. She's like the most adult. Not another one. Iris is a genius, so like like she's very mature, but at the same time, they actually wrote her like very well. Like she's mature, but she still has like this very like kiddie innocence to her. She's freaking well done. She's precious, and like Holmes actually raises her like his own daughter. That's like official art from like the artist of like him like piggybacking her as a baby, trying to feed her, etc. Freaking cute. And she when Iris before Iris realized that like her real dad was Watson, right? She actually thought that Sholmes was like her dad. she went to Holmes and was like, are you? She called him dad, and the Holmes was like, no, I'm not your dad. Night as a pie? He's freaking cute. He's one of those dads that's like, he's like a very fun dad. It's like she's like always looking out. She's like always like looking after like his daily life and stuff. But like he really like wants her to like grow up well. Freaking cute. Papa. Neglected to pass the third button. Why specifically the third button? Can I talk now? Sean is so dumb. He's one of those people like who like look good but got no brain. Oh yes. Eh? Wait, what? What? Nani? Nani? Holmes, what are you doing? Holmes, you wanna explain what's going on, Holmes? He knows about hunting too. Those events are not linked at all. Those events are not linked at all. My third violin string snap. Okay, I'm gonna pull your button off now. What? Charles! Charles don't expect me to know where it is. That guy just pulled the button off and then yeeted it somewhere. Yeet. He got the answer mark. He didn't get the question mark. Got the conclusion right, but not the solution. I had a surprise this morning. So you start laughing. Sean is dumb. Sean is so dumb. The pride of the British Empire. Iris is so cute. And Iris like copies like Holmes like actions, yeah. A lot of like her animation are like copied off Holmes. Freaking cute. Small baby! Very small baby! Small and pink. Yeah, freaking cute. How old is she? How old is she? I forgot. She's very young. 10. She's 10 years old. A 10-year-old babying a 34-year-old. You always say that Holmes is like old enough to actually be her dad. Freaking cute. So cute, she's tiny, she's so cute, she's freaking precious. She's like super genius. She's 10! Yeah, she's 10, she's super small. She's a baby. Like, and the official art of her is always very cute. No, she's actually a kid. Yeah, she's like Holmes' kid. I mean, not like his blood kid, but like basically as good as his kid, because he raised her since infancy, like literally by himself. Single dad Holmes. Won't you put us out of our misery? Hey, for my assistant. Yeah, she nicknames everyone. So she calls our assistant Susato Suzy. Intriguing. Converse Susato's letter. How lovely. Oh yeah, that's true. She probably wrote in like kanji or something. She's very well, thank you. In fact, according to what she's written, she actually appeared as a lawyer at Japanese Supreme Court and won a case. Yeah, pretending to be a guy. Cut above your good self. He's mocking us. That's why we can't appear in court right now. Natsume. Oh yeah, Natsume is a witness. Ouch. Let me back in court. I gotta see Lord Zix, please. I still gotta see Lord Zix. Yeah, so this flashback actually revolves around Natsume Soseki's like. So like they say here, we help him out for like 2 cases, right? But we've only seen 1 case so far, which is the one where the woman got hit by the knife. And this case is flashbacking to the 2nd case they are referring to. Which is how they get around with us being able to like solve a case despite not having a badge right now. Because it's a flashback, so it's okay, it happened in the past. Caseception I. I don't know how they're going to do that for like the remaining like cases for game. I mean, we must get our badge back at some point, right? If not, we can't solve the overall mystery. I have no idea how they're going to do that. Startling news. The case of the haunted lodging. No, I don't. Because I haven't gone through it yet. It's very interesting, you know. We are entirely certain that a case of that nature did not occur. You mean he forgot everything? A letter? Miss Susato asked that we read over her case notes again and investigate further. It took place half a year ago. For what purpose? Because of something that Mr. Natsume said to her, apparently. He suggested that the real reason why she was called back to Japan so suddenly might have something to do with that case of the haunted lodgings. Oh? Oh, indeed. On Mr. Natsume's return to Japan, Miss Susato's father questioned him about the case, she says. And something Mr. Natsume said appeared to trouble Professor Mikotoba, prompting him to send a telegram to call our assistant back to Japan. That case. Yes, what case? I don't know. What case? It was very strange, wasn't it? Was it? I had compiled the whole story in a nice, neat manuscript ready for publication too. And Hurley here was all funny about it, remember? He was very mean. The story must not be published, you say. Very mysteriously as well. This is like the second time it's happened already? Really? I said that? Are you sure? Oh, please remember something! He probably does, but we don't know what he knows. I dropped my... Took 4 months... Did it? Wait, they typoed it! 4 months ago! Oh no! The localization team has a typo here! 4 months ago, not 4 months ago. Whoops! Miss Susato's repatriation. It's been 4 months now since we raised soldiers at Dover. Good eye. I mean, I think I missed it like the first time I played through this, but then like since I'm reading out loud now, that I actually caught it. It was such a shock, wasn't it? The way she just suddenly announced that she had to go back to Japan. Indeed, it was due to the telegram she received from her homeland, I believe. That's right, telling her to return urgently. Yes, because her father had passed away. No, he did not. He did not. No. He just said he was suffering from a high fever, the cause of which was unknown. He's not dead. And by the way, the father was not actually suffering from anything. The father lied to her because he wanted her back in Japan at any cost. And we don't know why he thinks that way. But the best way to summon someone back urgently is to tell them that your dad's very sick and going to die soon, I suppose. And turns out he's completely fine. Yeah, so I'm just killing people left, right, center. News about her father's fever was just a ruse. Yep, a ruse. So Susie's daddy lied to her so that she'd make the voyage back home. Yep. Why would he do that? No idea. Absolutely no idea. But she believes it's almost certainly related to the case of the haunted lodgings. Summoning her back to Japan so suddenly like that. I wonder what Miss Susato's father is hiding. Who knows? I don't know either. I wanna know. I don't know what it's all about. Suddenly he's fully dressed for some reason. Who can say? What? He knows. He's not telling us on purpose. He's dodging it. Totally dodging it. A stringent analysis of this matter will be excessive, I feel, even while quite at leisure. Man, the fault in my absence, won't you, Iris? Iris? Iris is so freaking cute. He's dodging us. He knows what's going on, but he's not gonna let us know. So Saki's were involved in 2 cases, but only one of which was forbidden from being published. By, of all people, Mr. Sholmes. Ah, I found them at last. Iris, are they? The notes about the case? That's right. Susie and I compiled them together. The Case of the Haunted Lodgings. Do you want to read them, Bruno? So do. Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. I have no idea what secrets could still be hiding in the shadows of this case, but perhaps if I read over notes again, something might come to light. A gun. That's the spirit. Okay. Flashback time. And so, Iris and I decided to read over the case notes again together. Everything from what happened to an investigation and the fierce pattern court that followed. How fierce? Then you have a gun. The gun shoots mini bombs. And she so the gun is like her version 2. The version 1 prototype was a bazooka. I just need to find a clue and I have all the time in the world. Bazooka, and she gave away the bazooka to someone else. She kept the little gun for herself. The bazooka was stolen by someone, and then she let them keep it. She caught up with them, disciplined them, and then force them to be friends with her, and then let them keep the bazooka. This lady who got shanked, found lying on snowy pavement on Bria Road with a knife in the back. Fortunately, her life was spared, but she was unconscious for several days following the incident. The fog was thick and nobody saw her attacker, but by a cruel twist of fate, a visiting Japanese student was walking behind her at the time and was duly arrested. Natsume Soseki. Waga Hai wa Neko. The man was Soseki-san, and the man who affected his arrest was Mr. Sholmes. Sholmes just like barged in out, like, you are the one who did it! And Soseki-san was not very happy about that, obviously. Believing in our compatriots' innocence, Susato-san and I decided to represent Soseki-san in court. And after a grueling trial of many twists and turns, we finally managed to prove his innocence. Indeed, minus Sholmes logic minus 200. Joyous, jubilant, jubilation! Was the man's reaction after the trial. But his jubilant jubilation was short-lived. We received a telegram from Mr. Sholmes the following morning. Literally less than 12 hours later, he gets into another trouble. Why not? Post out him flexing. Yeah, so like Natsume, like Soseki-san like does a lot of like very weird poses and like he shouts out weird phrases. The victim of the Briar Road stabbing has regained consciousness. Hurry to Buds at 1. Buds is like the hospital, I believe. So Susato-san and I summon a handsome. These are all apparently like actual like historical like places and terms apparently. Yeah. So according to the interview I read from like the localizers, they deliberately made so they use like time era like the terms that were actually used during the era itself. Yeah. Dang dang! It's a rat! There's a rat! St. Bartholomew's Hospital, Recovery Ward. Dang dang! There you are at last. Here I am at last. Good morning, Mr. Sholmes. I think not. Oh. You're late! Wow, that took you so long! Your telegram only arrived at 5 o'clock, Mr. Sholmes, and it's a 20-minute ride to the hospital. That's right, and it's 5:30 now. I think we made very good time. The time is utterly irrelevant. The fact is, I've been waiting for what has felt like an eternity. This is me with friends who are like meeting up with me. I'm always late. I'm always late to meet up with my friends. In point of fact, I myself was awakened at 4 this morning by a telegram boy. Oops! Oof! 4 o'clock! and feeling you somewhat unjust that I alone having rose at such an hour I said what to you. The guy just salty got woken up early. He's like, if I had to suffer through this injustice of waking up early, so do you. Well, thanks for that. That's his only reason. Anyways, you're here now, so don't drag me down. Only just regain consciousness. What, the rat? Oh, I see the rat. Oh my gosh, she's so tiny. She's so stubby. You have to introduce yourself and I shall observe from here. Why? I mean, I'm okay with that, but why do we introduce ourselves to her? Like, we don't actually know her. She just happened to be like a accidental victim, so. Oh, a snow-covered pavement with a knife in her back. Her name is... Here we are. Miss Green. Yes, she is indeed very green. I mean, all things considered, not a very uncommon name, I suppose. Hi, Miss Green. Good morning. Hello. Yunosuke Naruhodo from the Empire of Japan. Oh no, was he a knife that? No, it was not me. No, a lawyer. And I'm Susato Mikotoba. Pleased to meet you. Oh no, was he a knife? You know what? Poor woman, like PTSD now. Why would I be here if I shank you, woman? Right? The actual criminal is actually in jail right now. Yeah, she's like serving like a prison sentence. But the woman like PTSD now. No. I'll show you. I'm Mr. Naruhodo's judicial assistant. We heard that you regained consciousness and wanted to come give you our best wishes. Best wishes for me? Thank you. I'm olive green. Yeah, she is indeed kind of olive green. I'm an artist. Hi. Well, no, that's not right, is it? What I mean is, I'm trying to be an artist. Okay. Well, what I really mean is, I desperately want to be an artist. I've left that life behind me! Well, we haven't had any case recently, so I thought we need to get some business and... I mean, at the moment right now, she's not exactly involved in any businesses either, kind of. I mean, she's like, if anything, we have really kind of solved a case, right? Unless she try to suggest that we sue her attacker or something, but even back then, I mean, can we even sue someone who's already in jail? Don't have any talent, I know I don't. Feels bad, man, same. What? This and that are not related. I don't think that's related actually. Gosh, this young woman seems to bend over back. She did in fact bend over backwards, and that's how she got hit by a knife. So. Seeing as we're here, we should ask her about what happened from her perspective, I suppose. About the incident. To suddenly be struck in the back by a blade as you were walking along the pavement. What a terrible experience you had, Miss Green. It was so cold that day, and the fog was so thick, I couldn't see a thing. That was 4 days ago now, I think. Is that right? I mean, considering she just got almost fatally wounded by a knife, almost. She recovered really quick in a span of 4 days. Yes, that's right. I'm afraid you've been comatose all that time. But the case has been solved, hasn't it? Wow, been here in hospital, I mean. Ding! Indeed it has, my dear madam, spectacularly by none and I, Herlock Sholmes. No, it wasn't by you, it was by me! You accused the wrong guy! Mr. Sholmes, as you well know, it was Mr. Naruhodo's hard work in court that solved the case. Are you yet to hear what happened, Miss Green? Yes, I'm afraid so. A gentleman from the police force is supposed to be coming to fill me in shortly. We can fill you in? Oh, I see. Me coming around seems that made everyone frantically busy. I'm so sorry. I should never have regained consciousness. Woman! No! I also really that you're the man, Miss Green. Really, we are. That kind of attitude. Maybe your surname should be Blue. Oh no! The puns in this game are amazing. So you're an artist, are you, Miss Green? Oh no, I couldn't possibly claim that I'm a fledgling artist at best. I mean, I'm a student of art, really. At the Thorndike Academy of Fine Arts. Oh my, Academy of Fine Arts! Great Britain is such a wonderful country. Tell me, Miss Green, do you live hereabouts? Oh no, actually. I don't deserve it, but I have a little flat on Brixton Road. Is it like expensive area or something? How very interesting. Oh no, is it? Is it? Brixton is some 10 stops away on the underground from here. Is that far? And Thorndike Academy is a mere 3 minutes walk from Brixton Town Centre. Okay, that makes sense. Does that matter, Mr. Sholmes? Perhaps not, but Briar Road is a far less salubrious... What does salubrious mean? Salubrious part of town by comparison, dwelt in by those of inferior means. Including the maleficent Mr. Moustache. Inferior means? I suppose Sosaki-san does fit the bill. By that they mean that he's poor AF because he spent all his money on books, which is actually true. He struck me as somewhat out of the ordinary for a young fine arts student to be walking in such a district. That's all. But this, she suddenly climbed up. I mean, so she came here for a reason, but we don't know why? Is what they're implying? Mr. Sholmes, you should be ashamed of yourself, prying the young maiden's private affairs. Oh dear me, do forgive me. If you don't mind... I'm being discharged shortly, so I need to pack up my things. Yes, of course, we won't keep you. Thank you so much, Miss Wynne. Keep the rat with you too. Ratty! Squeaker! Squeaker! A mouse, Mr. Naruhodo! Enormous mouse! Vermin in the hospital? That doesn't seem the best. But I look like a very healthy specimen, doesn't it? No! Don't cut up the rat! Don't cut up the rat! No, so you can say down to the excellence of this facility. Yeah, that's true. If the rat looks healthy, I mean, there's a lot of trash lying around for the rat to eat, isn't it? Rat for dinner, no! Rat is pet. Stuff the rat. Turn it into a friend. Like, stuff the rat and turn it into a full-time friend. Like that, like, someone's like a figurine of her or something. This rounded wooden figure isn't the most charming, is it? No, stuff rat for friend. Hug it to sleep. I don't think that's the decoration, Naruhodo. Hug the rat to sleep. Artist mannequin, I believe, used and practicing sketching the human form in different poses. Not exactly what you call a typical figure for the purpose though. I mean, speaking as an art student myself, it actually takes skill to know how to draw a fat person because you have to understand and be able to see the bone, their bone structure underneath all those layers of fat. It is actually harder than you think. While I was like in America for my term, right? We some of the live drawing models were like actually quite big size because like, well, stereotypical Americans, right? I'm not saying they're all like that, but there was some that were like very fat. To be honest. Okay, it's fine. Good night, Harry. Thanks for coming. I have a good night. Bye bye. Sleep well. Like yeah, we had to like draw some like pretty like actually like heavy set people, and like when they do the poses, you actually have to like be able to analyze their bone structure so you get the proportions right, and then you have to be able to draw like the fat rolls properly as well. So it's actually kind of hard. Good night, Ari. Good night. Thanks for coming. Man, I think I miss my live drawing sessions. Those were fun. Those live drawing sessions like one of my most enjoyable modules back in America. Want to draw a full-figured person? It's the right tool for the job. Either? What's this? Oh, we can analyze it. At least this game has a much better like aiming system than Somnium Files. It's true though. It's so much easier to aim and point at stuff in this game. Must bag of Miss Green's personal belongings. She would have been brought directly here after she was found stabbed on the pavement though. I expect a friend or family member probably brought some things for her. Alright then, let's see what's inside. Change the clothes. Why are you looking inside? Why are we looking inside? Never scrutinize young Radiant's personal belongings. Don't scrutinize anyone's personal belongings. That's not very nice. You just want sweet, just go to a sweet shop. Don't look through someone's bag, show it. What is this photo? I'm very curious. Look, there's a photograph in this frame here. Who's that? Oh? It looks like her. It looked like Miss Green. Is it like her brother or something? Those two are sweets. I have so much sweets in the fridge. I mean, I'm not complaining, but like for Christmas, like all my friends gave me sweets. Like they gave me like kind mixed bag of sweets, or like even like whole boxes of chocolates. So I have one entire layer of the fridge stuffed with like sweets from Christmas now. I'm like going through them bit by bit. Just about saying Miss Green, I would say. He looks exactly like Miss Green but skinnier and male. Is he like a twin brother or something? What a young woman, special someone? No, more like her brother if anything? Nice, Naruto. I didn't know you had a sense for matters of the heart. Not in the least. I sincerely said the first thing I thought of. Dun dun dun. Narrow fodder. the British people can't pronounce Japanese names, so they make one up. And then Naruhodo, we are now narrow fodder. It's a narrow fodder. Well, if you're looking for Naruhodo, the lawyer, that's me, but Mr. Narrow fodder, good. It's just for you. As a message for Saucy Natsume Soseki? Saucy Natsume! Natsume? Saucy Nutmeg though. Saucy Nutmeg. Why will a policeman be delivering a message from Mr. Natsume? Exactly, what's going on? What's a Scotland Yard constable doing playing delivery boy at this time in the morning? It's like 5 AM in the morning right now, right? What are you waiting for? Let me see that! Show him! Don't snatch it! Oh? Well, this is the most unexpected. He got arrested again, if I'm remembering correctly. There's something wrong, Mr. Sholmes, he says. Have you not seen this note? No, we didn't. Just tried to snatch it before we could. No, how could I have? It would seem that London's criminals have no intention of letting the great detective rest. A new case calls. A case of murder, no less. We must depart at once. Murder? Call a cab. Time is of the essence. But the trouble is, we have yet to read Mr. Natsume's note. I was thinking we ought to pay him a visit in his lodging once we did. Nope, we can pay him a visit in jail. That will be entirely convenient. Convenient? What do you mean? There's all here in the note, my dear fellows. The murder we must investigate took place at Mr. Moustache's lodgings. Wait, what? I'll help. Fiaker? Fiaker? Whatever that is? I have no idea. I mean, it's probably a cat, but I never heard that term before. Sasuga, all the old British terms. It was only yesterday that Soseki-san was in court and we are dispelling doubts about his innocence. And less than 8 hours later, here we go again. And now, the very next day. And the very next day, he waddled away. Waddle. There's a murder at a man's own address? He may very well be the unluckiest man alive. Or so it seemed to us at the time, but we were soon to discover it was worse than we thought. Dun. Got any grapes? No, we only have nice fresh lemonade. Yeah, I love that song. I water away, water, to the very next day. Dum 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 dum. Eh! I kind of vaguely, very vaguely remember this. Oh my, the gentleman deceased without question. He's dead. Locum student Mr. Naruhodo as queer. That's my son. Oh, why? Why is this happening? Why to me? I've only just got out of court yesterday. I was finally home after 2 days of misery. And now I wake up the next day to this. No honey bunch to catch a worm like this. Indeed. Whoa, without wiggle. Yeah, Natsume is great. Natsume's like animation are freaking great. He's very funny. And apparently, according to my friend, like his general like design appearance is actually quite like accurate to like his actual historical appearance. Like he has the eyebrows and the mustache and that general face shape as well. Yeah. I see you in high fish game this morning, Mr. Mustache. Ha! Not a horrible Herlock Jones! Shoo! Shove up! Show yourself the door! I never invited you! Mr. Jones came here with us. I'm quite sure he'll be able to help you, Mr. Natsume-san. I'm so not used to calling him Mr. Natsume. I'm never call him Natsume-san. I am entirely at your disposal, Mr. Mustache. What can I do for you? Mr. Mustache would like you to piss off. Oh yeah, this guy, Gregson. He's like the detective. He's like constantly like crunching his fish and chips. Infinite ammo fish and chips. It's quite funny. He never runs out. The busybodies. Inspector Gregson. Oh, so it's very funny because like Inspector Gregson doesn't like Sholmes because according to like the novels portray Sholmes as like very like amazing detective, and because of that the Scotland Yard is like, oh, you can't do your job properly, kind of thing, right? So because the novels are so popular, the London populace look down on the Scotland Yard. So Gregson doesn't like Sholmes for this reason, because I feel like he's stealing their thunder. Then, but he simps for Sholmes' daughter. because he knows that Iris is the one who writes the novels. Yeah, he knows it. So like he's like, if I kiss up to Iris, she'll write me in a more positive light in her story. so in a way he's like very sassy to everyone else, but when Iris comes, he's just like, oh, what may I do for you, my lady? Then he got very this simping attitude for her. She'll be like, have some tea, then he'll drink it with like his pinky finger raised. And he'll be like, this is simply exquisite, my lady, thank you for paying attention to me. Yeah. And like he's like please, cause like if Iris writes him in like a better light, right? So people who read the book will be that she actually uses his name. So the people who read the book will be like, oh my god, this inspector is so amazing. He can work so well with like Holmes, even though it's just fiction. So he must be like a very amazing IRL as well. So because of that, he actually got an IRL promotion and pay raise. So like Iris is his goddess. That's very funny. Infinite ammo, fish and chips. It gives me heartburn and I see a crime and face a crime scene in Sholmes. Ha! I deduce, Inspector, that your heartburn is all your excessive consumption of fried food. Oh, good morning, Inspector. This crime scene, don't you go touching anything. Good morning to you too, Sunshine. Natsume-san. What terrible thing that happened? It's only been 3 days since I was arrested for the incident on the pavement outside. Then, having finally regained my freedom, it starts happening all over again. Sean point at my the chips. The chips and deep fried fish. I haven't thought about it. I haven't had like a proper fish and chip for a very long time. Now that I think about it, I think the last time I actually had like fish and chips was actually back in America, which was like over almost 2 years ago. Impressive. Wow. Now I want that fish and chips. Shit. Now he's making me think of wanting to go like to eat fish and chips. The victim lives on the ground floor and your room is just one story up, isn't it? That's right, in a way we were neighbors, I suppose. So did you know the victim? Were you friends? Not a very encouraging answer. Not a very encouraging answer, Soseki-san? 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 What's the matter with Soseki-san now? It was an innocent question, wasn't it? Why does he seem so shaken by it? Well, I suppose he was a complete stranger. Soseki-san? Explain yourself? But did he ever invite me to his room? No, never. Oh my honor, I swear it! He's lying. What an extreme reaction. You're probably wishing you never asked now, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? When I found him here, I felt wretched. That is why I sent word asking you to come. Shoot the inspector over there! What a terrible thing to have happened. It's only been 3 days. Oh, is it? Oh, it repeats. Okay, I thought I heard something new to say. Okay. Can I skip through it if I seen the dialogue? I thought it would be new dialogue, but let me hide Xiao Bai. Okay. Okay, Inspector Gregson. So, Inspector, what was the victim's name? Who was he? Shemsphere! Prince William Shemsphere. He was a lodger here. Shem. What a Shem. And she can boil it down, he's an actor. A bit of date loss if it happens. Oh, just did. Stop it. This puns, yeah, he just Shem. This freaking game puns, man. Date loss. Did. Mr. Shemsphere. He was the landlord, Mr. O, Gary Depp, and the other lodger, Mr. Natsume, who found him. Gary Depp is the landlord and also the... You remember the married couple who were fighting and flinging things out the window? It was the Gary Depp couple, yeah. The owners of the building. The wife is in jail now. Because the wife was the one who threw the things out the window, which led to someone being injured. But Mr. Gary Depp still kind of like got slapped for it because, you know, like, well, it is a domestic spat, so the wife's in jail now. The fella didn't rise at his usual hour, so Gary Depp got worried and kicked the door down. But doesn't Mr. Gary Depp have a bad leg? Ah, yeah, right there. It was a jittery Japanese hunchback over there who actually did the kicking. Really? Soseki-san? The victim was pretty hard up, you see. Even done some time inside for petty crimes. Really? Doesn't look like the kind of guy who be doing petty crimes, but he had no money, no place to go, and no friends. Unfortunate. His only acquaintance were the people in this house. Miserable life and miserable end to it. So, what exactly is Mr. Natsume still doing here? He's not involved in the investigation, so shouldn't you have sent him away from the crime scene? Well, I'm not saying it's because the fella looks odd or anything, or that he acts suspicious. But I thought it would be prudent to take a statement from the cop. Hey, you don't accuse Natsume-san already from the cohabiter. You nearly said culprit there, didn't you? Oh dear. Natsume-san appears to be under suspicion again. Yep. certainly seem that way. He does this come across as such an odd fellow, doesn't he? Poor man, how unfortunate. Anyway, I can't say much until the coroner gets here. But I don't think the fella's been a goner that long. The body's still warm. Oh my, so he died within like a couple of hours ago? Or even less than an hour ago? Even if the inspector will allow it, I don't think I could bring myself to touch the dead body. Holmes? What are you doing up there, Holmes? Oi, get hands off, you're gonna mess up my crime scene. Oh, no, I just wanted to look, that's all. No chance, I know your kind. You mess it up just by looking at it. What? Oh, someone's in a bad mood. Maybe his fish and chips not fresh enough. There's at least some bad air in here, isn't there? You're the cause of the bad air! Alright, it sounds like I better talk to Inspector first and try to curry some favor. Wow. I mean, I did already, so Holmes, what are you doing up there? Mr. Holmes, what are you doing? You only need observe to know it, my dear fellow. Investigating, naturally. There's nothing natural about that pose. Yeah, he's doing the cactua / exit sign pose. Mr. Sholmes, have you made some miraculous discovery? Susato-san is like Sholmes' fan girl, cause she read all like the novels that Iris wrote about him. Patience, my dear madam, patience. We've not been here in this room 5 minutes. So far, all I've managed to deduce is what actually happened. Swear you did. My goodness. But isn't that everything we need to know, Mr. Sholmes? Now that you proposed the idea, such a disappointment. I mean, he's smart when he wants to be, but the thing that he only wants to be smart 1% of the time. 99% of the time he's just like bumming around. Now that you proposed the idea, I believe one could indeed see it that way. Yeah, the true person she should be like impressed by here is actually Iris. At the present time, I have managed to draw 2 incontrovertible conclusions. The first, that there was a physical struggle here last night in which the victim fought for his life. Okay, so the thing about Sholmes' conclusions is that there's this mini segment of the game called Sholmes like deductions or something like that. And he gets the answer mark correct, but he doesn't get the question mark. He gets like the 1 point for the correct answer, but like the solution is completely wrong, and we have to like guide him to the solution. So it's like he notices details. He'll be like, oh, this thing is out of place, but then he draws the completely wrong conclusion because he's got ADHD or something like that. So we have to be like, hey, like fix your logical deduction, and then that's how we lead him to like the correct answer. Don't mind me, forget I was here. And my second conclusion is that there was a poison lingering in the air here last night that passed the victim's lips. Nonsense! So not sus, Natsume-san. Alright, Mr. Natsume-san, why are you reacting so extremely to Mr. Sholmes' deductions? No, please, pretend I'm not here. Invisible, ineffable, inscrutable, insignificant. Impossible to ignore. You must tell us everything, Mr. Sholmes. Spare no detail. But of course, let the theatrical tragedy be be unraveled by my great deductions, presented for your pleasure in 2x. I have heard some truly astounding great deductions from Mr. Sholmes in the past. This is probably sarcastic, yes. No doubt this will be no exception. What miracles were in for before IT time? This sounds so sarcastic. So my dear fellows, for your delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Sherlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. The Great Deduction. The game is afoot. Conclusion? Cause of death. I look silly. Careful observation of the victim reveals to us the events that transpired in this disconsolate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Ding! Next to the victim, we notice a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why has this soap set so purposefully upon a dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact, yes! Would it mean that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fuck reveals the answer. Huh? Huh? He freaking got ADHD, he just noticed the wrong items. It appears the young man's appetite was his undoing. Taking out arms in the form of his cutlery, the victim engaged in a deadly battle for his life. Ding! Yet the struggle against his hunger was in vain, for in the end, he couldn't resist devouring the slippery fish. But London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. The soap and the leather about the young man's mouth are too perfectly matched to ignore. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to excessive ingestion of foul soap. So personally, I have a greater interest in the taste of foul candle wax, of course. Has Shom tried eating both soap and candles? Poisoning from soap in ingestion, no! Suicide or murder? The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. You don't want to know answer to that. I mean, some people have tried eating soap. Not me, but my friend apparently did. Apparently. She told me that she put soap on her lips before to blow bubbles. I'm just like, what? So, was this suicide or murder? Ding! The audience recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? A single clap suggests the answer. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. The careful criminal could have absconded with his own cup to cover his tracks. Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Ding! Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Wait, didn't the inspector just say that Natsume-san kicked the door open? In the morning, door force open now. At the time of incident, this door was locked, okay? And the sole key was in the victim's pocket. In other words, when the victim consumed the poison, he must have been alone. Alone with inferior soap, from whence wafted an inferior scent. And with the acrid aroma lingering in the air, the victim met his end in tragic solitude. We can take comfort only in the fact that his soul was well cleansed on the way to the hereafter. Well cleansed. No possible perpetrator present. My god, shows just suck. It's so funny though. This thus concludes the final act of Sherlock Holmes' Great Deduction. It's so stupid, it's funny, I love it. When even your greatest fangirl has got doubts in your conclusion, you know something is wrong. Yeah, there's just one thing, Mr. Sholmes. You are disposed to identifying just one thing, aren't you, Mr. Naruhodo? Pray, what concerns you? Well, no matter how hungry he was, do you really think the man would have eaten soap? It is quite apparent that this man had barely a penny to his name. It is a curious thing, but to one so destitute, soap can suddenly appear quite irresistibly appetizing. Are you speaking from experience, Holmes? Are you speaking from experience? How extraordinary! In truth, I have tried a little soap myself in the past. No! You have eaten it, you mean? My dear fellow, it was some time ago now. My postulation was that it will cleanse my gut. I mean, and did it? As I ripped the agony on the floor and spilled the contents of my stomach. Yes, I believe in this. That is indeed one way of cleansing your gut, I suppose. The experience taught me a valuable lesson. Soap is quite poisonous. No shit. No shit. It has an unpleasant taste and leads to great discomfort. In summary, I cannot recommend it. Believe me, I won't eat it even if it did. Cannot recommend it indeed. There's something that troubles me as well, actually. Oh, what's that? 1.5 would not recommend. Who's the one who would recommend it? So if four people do not recommend it, who's the one person who does? It's Natsume-san. Ah! I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Shakespeare. Not wrong, not wrong, not wrong. Sam ate the soap? Question mark. I couldn't help noticing him shuddering and quivering out of the corner of my eye. Almost as in Mr. Show's reduction, touch a nerve somehow. Nonsense. That's a kind of deflated nonsense. Well, that clenched teeth episode didn't last. I think, judging by Mr. Natsume's reaction, the great detective deductions may need some gentle corrections in order to reach the actual truth. Gentle corrections, you say? Yes, Mr. Show's observation and deduction are sometimes a little too sharp. He has a tendency to hit the nail on the side of the head and drive it in an obtuse angle. When he does that, it falls to us to straighten things out. Alright then, let's see what we can do. This is fun. I always like this part of the game. Yes, we must pick out the keywords in Mr. Show's quite brilliant deductions and discreetly exchange them for something that makes a little more sense. We can do that. I'm sure we'll arrive at what Mr. Show's meant to say in the first place. Susato-san is so freaking cute. In that case, are you ready for the second performance of the day? Once again, my dear fellows, for your continued delight and wonder, let the curtain rise. For Herlock Sholmes, Logic and Reasoning Spectacular, Act 1. Course correction. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. Chotto mate. Chotto mate, Sholmes-san. We used acid band that transpired in the consulate room last night. Foam at the mouth of the deceased clearly indicates the use of poison. Ding! Next to the victim, we noted a large dining plate which contains, you will observe, 1/2 of a sizable bar of soap. Meaningful? Indubitably. Why this soap set so purposefully upon the dish? Like the victim's last supper, in fact. Yes. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. Fork reveals answer. Huh? This is what we need to correct now, the fork. Well, you can't deny that a fork implies the man not eating something or about to eat something. Yes, that's true. If I were to decide to eat some soap, I would prefer to use a fork than to attempt it with chopsticks. Not the point, but... And of course, only half of the bar of soap is left on the plate. That's a pretty big half, isn't it? Does that mean soap bars back then were like massive? If that's the size of actual full bar of soap now, not a half bar of soap. But might there not be some other explanation? Something material that proves whether or not the man really ate some soap. Yeah, we are being sold like 5 times the price and like half the size of the product. Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course, the fork reveals answer. There's something here that shows that he wasn't. Maybe this other half bar here? Does it? Probably. Ding! Look, there's more soap on the floor here. Mr. Champmere must really love the stuff. The poor guy gets slandered in his death. Let's look closely at the soap. Do you see that it will fit together perfectly, the first half with the half bar on the table? What the? How can that be? It broke. I think that there are 2 halves of the same bar that broke apart. So... is that his hand? Is that correct? Ding! Could it be that the man was about to eat it? Of course. The other piece of soap reveals the answer. It being the other half of the soap on the table. In short, the victim was not eating soap at all, of course. But it's obvious, really. For no death or hunger could drive any man to attempt to eat soap. He's telling that to Sholmes, who has attempted to eat soap because he was hungry. Even I, with my unquenchable thirst for practical knowledge, only took a single bite. That's not something to be proud of. But then back to the question of how the man was poisoned, because there's no sign of any food on the table. An excellent observation, Mr. Naruhodo, and one that furnishes us with the answer we seek. For London's foul soap is besmirched by foul poison. Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the contents of the plate. Mr. Sholmes is still pushing the soap argument then. Perhaps he's suggesting the man licked the soap rather than ate it. If soap in London is that poisonous, I don't think I want to be washing my hands with it. There are no signs of any food in his room at all. Of course, food isn't the only thing that passes people's lips, is it? The drinks, right? Yes, a western vessel for the serving of infusions of dried tea leaves. Just called a teacup. The teacup, Mr. Naruhodo, as you well know. Stop putting on airs. And it's empty. So we've already established that the victim wasn't eating soap when he died. However, there's significant evidence to suggest that he was drinking tea. My thoughts exactly. Ding ding! Correct! Yes, the victim's life was claimed by poison that tainted the teacup. Indeed, cups have been a vessel of choice for practicing poisoners over the centuries. And it would appear that the victim drank every last drop. There's no sign of food anywhere in the room. We lead us to the immutable conclusion. The cause of death was clearly intoxication due to ingestion of poison contained in the teacup. Poison in the teacup. Tea. Okay, solved. Number 2. The cause of death identified, we proceed to Act 2, where we ponder the next question. Was this suicide or murder? Ding! The audience will recall that death occurred during the victim's last supper. Did the man dine and die alone? The single teacup suggests the answer. The western vessel for infused hot drinks again. It's already featured heavily in our deduction so far. Yes, we can imagine that shortly before his death, Mr. Shamspeare was having a drink of tea. There will be nothing remarkable about that, but what troubles me is Mr. Natsume's reaction when he heard Mr. Sholmes suggest it. There's more to this deduction than it seems. We must closely examine the scene of the crime again for some more clues. What I didn't know is there's another cup here, so 2 people. I remember solving this part of the case, so did the man die and die alone? The other teacup suggests the answer. Yes, there were 2 teacups in the room all along. In other words, this is a strong indication that at the victim's last supper, there was a guest present. At the very least, we can say now with certainty that somebody else was here in the room last night drinking tea with the victim. Oh, what are you talking about? Utterly, unbelievably, unjustly, unreasonable. To draw a conclusion on such meager evidence would be foolish, however, certainly. In which case, what more can we deduce about this possible guest at the table? Well, allow me to lift the veil of doubt, my dear fellow. Ding! You mean to say you knew who exactly was in this room at the time of the victim's death? Obviously, Natsume-san! Look at him! Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the broken lock. Ding! I'm not sure I like where this deduction is going now. I'm afraid it's too late to go back to the halcyon days of eating too much soap. But the identity of the guest who was in here last night when the victim passed away is Natsume-san. There's something I have a very bad feeling about. Well, you can try to ignore your feelings, but we cannot ignore the truth, Mr. Naruhodo. That is true. No, I suppose not. Time to go look around again. I remember of this thing, right? At first glance, it seemed that the only things in this room are the makeshift stage and the costumes. I overlooked these 3 books initially. I wonder what they are. Let's see. Titles read: The Picture of Monsieur Lecoq, Canterbury Yearnings, and A Meal for Gabrielle. By the way, these are the 3 books that featured in the previous case, which is how we know it was Natsume-san, because Natsume-san purchased these 3 books. So, what are they doing in the guy's room? I wonder. I mean, I know what they're doing in his room, but... Wait, I'm sure I heard those titles before. It could just be an incredible coincidence, but... They're the exact same 3 books that Mr. Natsume purchased the other day. What? Yes, on the day of the unfortunate incident when Miss Green was stabbed. So Saki-san had just been to a bookshop and bought them, that's right. And now those 3 titles are here in the room of the victim. Yet Mr. Natsume claims to never have been here before. What? What does it mean? Do you think? Isn't it pretty obvious what it means? I really don't know what to make of it. Power of familiar books. Correct. Indeed, what reveals the answer, of course, is the power of familiar books. Quite so, it's no mere coincidence that these 3 titles are here in this room. It's the link to the truth. Ugh. Natsume-san, you purchased these books 4 days ago at a second-hand bookshop. That's just a coincidence. In that case, you will be able to bring the same 3 titles from your own room, will you not? Got him now. This very moment. No, never! Non-negotiable! You can come and bring your own copies here. It proves that these 3 books are in fact yours. That pose. Having purchased the books 4 days ago and returned to your lodging, you were arrested the very next day. So you could conceivably have brought the books here on the evening, but you never mentioned that. In other words, you could only have brought these 3 books here to the victim's room. That dabbing pose though. Ding! Last night, having returned to your lodgings after the trial concluded at the Old Bailey. Ding! In short, there is only one possible conclusion. The victim died here in his room last night as a result of poisoning. And that same night, the victim had a visitor. And that visitor is you! Was you, Mr. Soseki Natsume? Yeah! Thus concludes the final act of Herlock Sholmes' Great Deduction. Soseki Natsume at the scene. Solved. Elementary, my dear. Yeah, this segment is always so fun to do because of like how dramatic they all are, like spinning around and stuff. Not again, not again, not again, not again. Well then, Mr. Natsume, it would appear you're gonna have to accompany me down to the yard again. But wait! Hold your horses! Yes? Door, key, lock, entry, exit, entirely impossible! He's so flustered he's being even stranger than normal. What, you think that's an alibi? You could have just made a copy. What? You live in the same building after all. You'd have plenty of opportunity, I'm sure. But misery me! Sorry, sir. You'll get your chance to give your side of the story later. Poor guy. The facts speak for themselves, Mr. Moustache. You horrible Herlock Sholmes. He really has found himself an arch rival now, hasn't he? Come on now, no dilly-dallying. Outside, there's a carriage waiting. Welcome to the Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. I never imagined I'd be in this position again, but you have to help me, please, please. I'm innocent. Alright, I understand. We'll come to your cell later and talk about it. And one more thing. Oh, yes? My poor little kitty cat. Please give him his breakfast for me. We'll feed his cat. We'll feed his little meow meow. And so, his evil curse still apparently unbroken. So Seki-san found himself once again the prime suspect in a case of murder. Thanks to the incriminating deductions of the great detective. More like my deductions. My dear fellow, the honor belongs to you. Indeed, it does. Well, at least that means Inspector Gregson is no longer here. We can examine the crime scene in more detail now. Yes, that's right. And, of course, what? Have you forgotten what the inspector mentioned before? He was the landlord, Mr. Garrideb, who discovered Mr. Shakespeare. Ah, Mr. John Garrideb, yes. I expect we could find him in his sitting room at the top floor as usual. Right, we must remember to go and talk to him later then. Sham. Oh, the poor man. So young to die. How old is he? Is he young? I mean, he's okay young. He's not that young, but he's not that old either. He's 31. How old is he? Should be like 32, I think. Yeah, 34. Yeah, he's kind of okay young, I guess. Natsume's like 33 years old. Are you serious? He look like 50. Do you suppose it was a very painful death, being poisoned as he was? I don't know. All we can do now is hope that he'll be reborn to a better life, where he becomes an actual Shakespeare and not a Shakespeare, I guess. Yes, I suppose you're right. I wonder. Do you think that putting your hands together in a Japanese prayer help a British soul? Sorry? I made so had a reference at the ready for just such an occasion as this, actually. Are you hoping that you encounter dead people or something? This book is entitled The Beginner's Guide to Praying for the Departed, the British Way. I'll just reread it now. One moment. There's quite a spine on that book, isn't there? He's dead. What's this? What's this? It looks like part of an envelope, I think. Yes, I think you may be right. Perhaps it was torn off when the letter was opened. Is that significant? Well, it's a little out of place perhaps when you look around the room. There's no sign of a letter or a rest of the envelope, in fact, is there? And yet, here we had a torn off end of an envelope. It just strikes me as unusual. I agree. We better take this just in case. The torn off end of envelope has been entered in the court record. A ripped piece of an envelope that was found in Mr. Shakespeare's room. The rest of the envelope could not be located. This costume. Look at the extravagant bright costumes. Somehow, they look out of place in this room, with its grim, shady going-ons. This one looks like a king's attire. A king? I've always dreamt of being a king. As a Japanese person, do you dream of being a king or do you dream of being the emperor? I wonder. Oh, I think it'd be more suited to a feudal lord, a daimyo or such like. With a chonmage top knot, every Japanese man wishes he had a chonmage. No, it doesn't look good at all. But what I know, I'm not historically Japanese. Maybe at the sword. Can you imagine what would happen if I had to walk around in the street of London with a chonmage and a sword? We get arrested by Scotland Yard. You see from outside, the window is completely bricked up. Yeah, do you know about the window tax? So the game explained to us about the window tax. So like back in the ancient British times, way before this time period, even historical ancient British, they it was a sign of wealth to have a lot of windows in your house, which is why all the very old British houses that are like several hundred years old have a lot of windows. But then sometime around the time period that this game is set in, which is, if I'm not wrong, it's around like the 1800s, I think. They actually introduced this thing called the window tax. And where they actually tax you based on the number of windows your house has. Well, it means that, you know, like if you're rich and you have a big house, you have lots of windows, right? Because you want to show off. So that's how they tax you. You got a lot of windows, you pay more money. So what the people did to avoid this tax is to, what they did to avoid the tax, they bricked up the windows. So then they'll claim that, oh no, we don't have as many windows as you claim we do. Look, our windows are closed. They're just walls now. You can't classify that as windows anymore, so we don't have to pay the window tax. That's why a lot of the smaller British houses, their windows are completely bricked up, so you live in darkness, and so that the landlords can avoid paying the window tax. History, man. History. Strange thing they used to tax in Great Britain. They tax the freaking windows. Yep. I mean, making people pay for the number of windows they had in the property is extraordinary. It's heartbreaking to think of the poor having to block up the windows just to avoid an unaffordable tax. Oh. What is it, Miss Susato? If you look closely, a number of the bricks are loose. Oh, that's true. There's like three slightly different colored bricks on the window. Soap! It looked as though an amateur has broken out a few of them just here. Was it Mr. Shakespeare who did it, I wonder? Being the lodger renting this room. Look at this, Naruhodo-san. And outside there's a little ledge. And there's something on it. What, outside? Soap! So cold outside, you can feel it through this gap. It did snow last night, it will be very cold. But more importantly, what is it on the ledge out there? What are those snow-covered lumps? They are soap. It's more bars of soap. Soap? What are bars of soap doing lined up on the ledge outside the window? I don't know either. I have no idea. But a pair of them look rather charming like that. Still, that's very strange, isn't it? Bars of soap lined out outside the window. Do you think the third broken chunk of soap came from here as well? Probably, right? I think perhaps we should take one. There are two after all. Oh dear. I suppose we could. What's this? Look here at this soap. Huh? In the middle here, is that wax? The patch is a different color. It's sort of transparent, but some sort of fancy design, I suppose. Only in Great Britain. Oh, it's not wax, it's a design? You look at the Hinomaru flag of Japan, isn't it? How wonderful. I mean, it's on a green rectangle though, not white, but it's probably a very expensive brand. Expensive? Then what's it doing in this ramshackle old room? That's true, the guy is poor AF. The guy is poor AF. Can he afford expensive soap? That's true. The court record. The gas, I think. The gas machine thing. This probably not a machine. It looks like a meter of some kind. Gas meter. You see that in strict residents pay for gas as they use it with coins. Yeah. You literally pay for your gas the same way you pay for a payphone. You slot in coins and they dispense you gas. Now that you pointed it out, I can see that there's a slot just here that looks like you would take a coin. So you mean if you put a coin in here, that's right, that will buy you about 2 hours of gas for lights. Yeah, it's literally like a payphone. Like, you know, you put in the coins and then they connect you to like a telephone, right? Back then you put in the coins to the gas meter and then they connect you to the gas for like a couple of hours. So if you're a poor person with no money, you have to sleep in the freezing cold. Yep. Or buy candles, I guess. Get the brain, no chain to because got exchange your money in the bank. There's no middle office. I mean, Holmes is rich. Alright, or rather, Iris is rich, so. In the box, maybe? Makeshift stage. Audience sit for the nightly Shakespeare performances. Actors inspiring to the great stage must practice the art. Naruhodo-san with or without an audience. In fact, on a rated note, perhaps you should set up a mock bench for defense in your office. What? There's no case to practice on. They have to practice art every single day. Not the kind of art that can be practiced just like that, but I'll think about it. And you promise to don a beard and play the role of that judge. Well, if that will help you achieve your goal. So sweet, what a good girl. Wait, no. I wanted to go to the... Did I just... okay, just click the button to the left. No, I don't know. Are we done here then, I suppose? This thing? Gas wall light. Gas pipe in the wall. Gas lights are gas stuff. London really the city of gas. I mean, not in that way, but... But now I think about it, Mr. and Mrs. Garadep had an open fire on top floor, didn't they? Oh yes, you're right. I don't recall seeing a gas stuff up there. Well, I much prefer a real fire anyway. It's so much cozier. Alright, I love the smell of fireplaces though. Like, fireplaces smell so nice. Is it just me? Okay, I guess we'll just... yeah, nothing to examine here anymore. I guess we'll just go up to the next room to see Mr. Garadep. Oh, you spend more time investigating here? So it's something I'm missing? I've only played like a few holidays and stuff. Mostly Australia. The fireplaces smell so freaking nice, seriously. Legit. Smells so good. Something I'm still missing. I mean, I did examine everything, but apparently there's something here that's important enough for me to still have to examine before I go. It's not his hat, right? Maybe a shelf? Yeah. There's not much on this shelf, is there? Just this wine glass and bottle. And both of them are cracked. Yes, but not much use, are they? People. Lord Zeeks! Lord Zeeks! I missed you, Lord Zeeks. It's been like 3 months. No! Okay, are we done with this place now then? I want to go to the next room. We still need to examine here? What can we examine here though? Should we just go to the next room anyway? We are done already. I need light ups that's not thick. Oh? No. I don't know. Everything looks like it's been examined already. The picture? No. Not the wall. Maybe there's really nothing after all. Okay, I know what. I just assume that we're done here and go to the Garadep's room. Yeah, so this is where the marital spat was happening. Yeah, we are again. The eccentric landlord's eccentric top floor abode. We are here because Mr. Garadep's the one who discovered the incident this morning, don't forget. Moon! You chaps, eh? Yes, good morning, sir. Thank you for your cooperation in court yesterday. It was quite a trial. As much for Mr. Garrett as anyone really. Came straight back here after all that business at the Bailey yesterday. Didn't expect to wake up to more body nonsense this morning. I wonder if you wouldn't mind telling us exactly what happened, Mr. Garrett. Yes, I suppose you'd like to know all about that dead loss of an actor trapped in the ground floor room. Those were exactly Inspector Gresham's words, weren't they? Was he like eavesdropping on us? Okay, speak to us. This morning's incident? It must have been a real shock for you this morning. I heard and discovered what happened. Well, that hopeless actor chap rises at 5 o'clock sharp every morning without fail. But at 5:30 this morning, he still hasn't lit the gas. So I went down and knocked on his door, but no Bolly answer. And that's when you broke into his room by kicking down the door? Well, I caught that rum-looking Japanese chap to do the grunt work, of course. Wasn't it a little premature to kick down the door down? The man could just overslept by half an hour. That's very true, Naruhodo-san. A 30-minute oversleeping warranted such behavior? I had to kick your door down every morning. Who wakes up at 5 o'clock? No one wakes up at 5 o'clock, it's way too early. Well, you know, better to be safe than sorry and all that. He's sweating, he's hiding something from us. Does this mean you're avoiding our gaze now all of a sudden? I said that it was a sorry situation indeed that you found on the far side of the door. It's Shakespeare. Mr. Victor's name, Mr. Shakespeare, I believe, is that right? Yes, William Shakespeare. Took the ground floor room 3 months ago now. And how would you describe him? In a word, destitute. Rude but true. Destitute. Well, let's face it, the only redeeming feature of that room is the cheap rent. Anyone wanting to live in a place like that is either broke or has a body screw loose. Broke, it's true. Both Natsume-san and William Shakespeare are both broke AF, so I had to choose which category Soseki-san will fall into. True, he's both poor and weird. Naruhodo-san, that's a little bit rude. You're doing research as well, huh? Really? An actor is doing research? An actor? Research? Into what? Shakespeare, of course. Shakespeare. Okay, that kind of research. Read a few plays of the old bard myself, you know. Romeo and Hamlet and all that. Really got it wrong. Yes, William Shakespeare is England's most highly regarded classical playwright and author. He's known as Sao in Japanese. Really? Really? And many of his works have already been translated. It seems incredible that Shakespeare would shorten to Sao though. Someone was too heavy-handed there. There were a lot of costumes in the victim's room actually, weren't there? Of course, Natsume-san is a scholar of English literature as well. I imagine he and Mr. Shakespeare will have much in common. Shakespeare interpretation disagreement leads to shocking murder. Let's hope it's not that. Naruhodo-san, really? How rude. Your favorite events? After Natsume-san's trial yesterday, you came straight back here, I believe, didn't you? Did you notice anything strange between them and this morning? Well now, must have been about 6 in the evening by the time I got home. Snow was coming down rather heavily as I remember, and it was completely dark already. That failed actor trap was out at the time. Garrett noticed there was no light from his room or something, I suppose. Couldn't summon the energy for anything much, so I just sat in front of the fire up here. It was after 8 before Shakespeare got back. And the trap was up until past 1 in the morning, I'll have you know. Suppose he met his end sometime after that. I was asleep by then, so I'm rather in the dark there. Well, thank you. That was very illuminating. Those are some very accurate times, aren't they? Will you normally be so accurate about what your neighbor does. I was just thinking that's a little strange, that's all. Mr. Garrett, you're up here in your room all evening, if I understood correctly. Sus! Not a big fan of stairs, not on this blasted lake. Then, how is it that you seem to know? The precise moment of the tenant on the ground floor, I mean. We sussed him. That's a very good point. I can't imagine that you could hear noises from the ground floor all the way up here. Does this old man like to spy on his tenants? Is that it? I say, I know what you're thinking. It's body outrage. I'm ex-military, don't you know? I don't go around spying on my tenants, why would I? Then how do you know, Mr. Garrett? The gas, woman. The gas tells me everything. But I mean, you were washing the gas, so it still counts as spying on them, right? So he's listening on them. Listening on them and like eyeing the gas meter 24/7. The gas? Speaking gas? What on earth do you mean, sir? How can a gas tell you anything, let alone everything? Well, as you're probably aware, the gas is supplied to the building by pipes. Yes, I more or less worked that out. Every room in the building is connected by a single pipe to the gas main outside. And the gas company supplies gas to properties via the main. Yes, I understand that too. Let me see if I can explain. Let's say I was to light the gas lamps up here. What do you suppose will happen? I don't know. Obviously the room will get brighter. Okay, yes. Exactly. But at the same time, the lights in all the other rooms of the house would dim for a moment. Huh. They dim? Why? Partly because when you light a gas lamp, it briefly uses more gas than usual. Really? That's it? And that reduces the amount of gas in the pipe for the other lamps that are connected to it. That might explain why the other lamps dim momentarily, doesn't it? Yes, of course. Because everything connected to a single supply pipe. Oh. Is that supposed to happen though? It sounds rather undesirable. Jolly good point. Fact is, the gas company's pipes in these parts are pretty hopeless, long worn out, and barely got any gas in them to start with. Opposite's also true, of course. Extinguish the lamps up here and they glow brighter in the rest of the house. I see. So by watching the flickering of the lamps in one room, you can determine what's happening elsewhere. Huh, okay, that makes sense, I suppose. You've got it. Of course, because when people come back home in the evening, and before they go to sleep at night, what they're guaranteed to do is to light or put out the lamps and fires. In point of fact, the room on the ground floor and the one above it use slightly different amounts of gas. By watching the lights in here closely, I can work out almost exactly what's going on in the whole house. Wow! That is actually pretty impressive, honestly. Gosh. That's fascinating, Mr. Garrett. Absolutely fascinating. Oh. It's kind of stalkery, yes, but at the same time, you can't exactly help it if your lights just go dim on their own, right? it is a bit weird that he's taking such careful note of the times though, that's all I'll say. No, well, nothing to it really. And I can't really see that it's going to help us with the case either. Nope, it's going to help us a lot, for sure. I don't know how though, but it will. Well, I'd like to know. That's why Mr. Garrett is so interested in what his tenants are up to in the first place, right? I feel like there's more to it than idle curiosity. I guess we're done here already? Yeah, we're done. Which was... Is Natsume-san done? Yeah, Natsume-san is still not done, huh? I mean, we really missed out something in Shakespeare room, but what? Maybe the window? Maybe I missed something on the window? Nope. Huh, what I miss? What I miss? What I miss? I did not lit up. There is something here not lit up that we missed, but what? Just go through the whole map again. It lit up, yes. Just got tick on it already. Not his underwear, surely. Nope, it's not. Maybe this thing? Nope, it's not. Windows are done too. Table? Oh, the poison cup. Got it. Missed the cup. Well, pick up the Mr. Champagne he just drank from last night. I'm not. It's poison, isn't it? Don't worry. Anyway, the cups are both empty. That's true. Yeah. Mr. Shakespeare. And the other Natsume-sans. Wasn't poison, of course. Perhaps we should take this so we can examine them in more detail later. The pair of teacups have been entered to the court record. Go snoop around, eh? Hey, Gregson. Then I threw that little Japanese fella and a clink. I went and reported this to investigation division. And in 5 minutes time, this place will be cordoned off by the yard. Good thing we just finished our investigation then. But you can sell again so soon, right? It's been like less than 12 hours since he's back. Wait. A walking shadow, a poor player. He lives! Let's stretch and fetch his hour upon the stage, and then it's hurt no more. Now, how sound the next part? He forgot his lines? Is that the important thing here? And the tale, told by idiot full of sound and fury. I mean, we still don't know who attempted to murder the guy. Signifying nothing. Indeed. Oh, happy day. Maybe we do actually have a case after all. That guy doesn't bonk on the ground. Fucking dead. Oh man, this is great. The fella isn't dead at all? Did you not take his pulse or something? I mean, then again, there could have been a case of like false death. It does actually happen when you think, when someone's pulse slows down so much that they seem like they're dead, but they're actually not. Oh, that nonsense you're saying though, Shakespeare, I guess. Shakespeare? I think, yes, it was from William Shakespeare's Macbeth. A soliloquy from... Soliloquy? Is that how you pronounce it? Soliloquy from Act 5, Scene 5. Shakespeare. So do we or do we not have a case now? So it was that the victim, Mr. William Shakespeare, came back to life. If the man had indeed been poisoned, it transpired that it hadn't killed him. He was taken by emergency carriage to a nearby hospital for treatment. And Inspector Gregson evicted us from the scene of the crime. Whatever that was now. Whatever that now was, whatever. Someone's capoing the window. Good question. I mean, maybe if it's not murder, but he could be arrested for like manslaughter. Hello, thank you for coming. Thank you for follow too. I appreciate it. We're doing it to Tony right now. Just started case 2 of the second game. We're like at the very beginning of it, so you didn't do like miss much. Seems very likely that Mr. Shakespeare did consume poison as we deduced. But was it accident, attempted suicide, or attempted murder? Until the truth can be established, I imagine the police will keep Mr. Natsume in custody. I suppose so. Let's hope it doesn't come to anything more than a night in the cells. Oh, what's this? Someone's being a stalker right now. What's that man doing over there? Looks like he's trying to see into Soseki-san's lodgings. Isn't that Shakespeare's apartment though? Not Soseki-san, because the soap bar is outside, right? That's Shakespeare's room, isn't it? Excuse me? Could we have a word? Ah! Ha! And he disappears, of course. He just ran off. I feel sure I've seen that man somewhere before. Where was it? I do too, but I don't remember. Well, we'll done as much investigation here as we can, I think. Perhaps we ought to go to prison and speak with Mr. Natsume again. A good idea. Okay, so off we go. Natsume-san. Having Natsume-san currently in timeout. Look, Mr. Naruhodo. Mr. Natsume, has the police finished questioning you now? Welcome, sir, Mr. Naruhodo Esquire. What a long name every single time. Oh, yes? What is he? Tell me! Is he a ghost? Is he here to haunt me? Let me guess. You're talking about Mr. Sholmes? If he calls himself a great detective, Mr. Natsume, not a ghost. I mean, we don't know about ghosts, but we might have a zombie in the form of the victim. So, a zombie and a ghost is kind of close, isn't it? But his diabolic deductions, they're not of this world. They've left me. Ah, cursed! I'm cursed, I tell you. Well, that sort of hurts. I mean, I'm the one who made the deduction, so credit where credit is due, Mr. Naruhodo. You were heavily involved in the deduction too. Yes, moving on. We have some wonderful news. He's not dead, or is he? We don't know. Oh? The victim that we all thought was dead has come back to life again. That is not necessarily a good thing. Not necessarily a good thing. Now, in the absolutely worst case, you could only be tried for attempted murder. Is that not bad enough? That's great, isn't it, Natsume-san? It's terrible! Oh. I'm stuck in a cell, suffering for some silly, wrong end of the stick. Also not wrong. You did, didn't you? Confess, you're a killer. Why the mustache? Constant questions. I'm so sorry to hear that. Ah, the selfish sister. Make up your mind. Are you dead or alive? If you're going to come back to life, why bother dying? I mean, Mikali, wishy-washy, William. Well, it seems likely that Mr. Shakespeare was never actually dead in the first place. Just blacked out. Ah, yes, that might make sense, and I'm pleased that he's alive, of course. Our lively debate last night was so much fun. We said to think it was our last. Wouldn't it be your last anyway if you're going back to Japan after this? Oh. Whoops! He just leaked something. Natsume-san, does this mean that you did see a victim last night? You met with Mr. Shakespeare, didn't you? I'm not saying another word. I demand the lawyer present. I am the lawyer. What do you think I am? Please, Natsume-san, I need to hear a sad story. Ah, Why am I cursed like this? Natsume-san, what happened? Can you tell exactly what happened last night then, Natsume-san? There's nothing to tell. But, Naruhodo Esquire, I'm eternally grateful to you for helping me the accursed case yesterday. In the case that saw poor Miss Green hospitalized after she ended up with a knife in her back. Maybe it's all linked. Maybe it's all linked. We don't know why the Miss Green came to this area either, right? So maybe it's all linked up to all. I don't know how or why though. It's hard to believe that was only yesterday. After the trial was over, I trudged my weary way back to my lowly lodgings. And that evening, at past 9, it must have been, I visited Mr. Shakespeare. So, you did go to the victim's room then? As we feared. I didn't do anything wrong. I've never been to his room before. It was the first time. Then, what made you decide to go? I bumped into him when I arrived back at the house. We got chatting and it developed into a discussion. But he had to go out, so I bade him farewell. That ties in with what Mr. Garrideb said, that the victim went out and came back after 8. We met again later that evening at around 9 or just after, when I took him some nice tea I had brewed as a gift. That's nice of him. So it was you who brought the tea that had clearly been drunk at the scene then? Oh shit, that's true. So that's where the tea came from. And I suppose you're discussing the works of Shakespeare, will you? Yes, that's right. That's exactly right. Romeo and Juliet. Who was the stronger? Who was the stronger? Are they like arm wrestling or something? It was a delightful debate. I'm sure. Such stimulating subject, Shakespeare. Juliet won Romeo in an arm wrestling contest. And the debate became very heated, so you slipped some poison to Mr. Shakespeare tea. What are you suggesting? What are you suggesting? Are you not his defense attorney? No, never, not at all. Team Juliet won, that was me. And when I left his room, the flamboyant fellow was fighting fit. I swear it, categorically. Curse assistance? Natsume-san, you often say the same thing about yourself, I've noticed. That you have a cursed existence. I'm sure I've mentioned this to you before, but I've been here in Great Britain for a year now, and in the time I've learned there is no place for me. Yeah, because not because he cursed, but just because the people are like fucking racist. It's true though. He just feels like a lot. He just feels a lot of like gazes on him. And he's like, oh shit, they're like ghost haunting me, but it's just the British people being racist to like him. and I seeing like staring at him everywhere he goes because he's like a lone Japanese man in like a country of Angmos. He can be very trying to live in a foreign land and adapt to the ways of another culture. There are foreigners everywhere I look, and they all stare at me, they all laugh. That's the impression I get whenever I go out. It makes me scared to leave my room. Which is why I've become a recluse. But even in my room, I find no respite for my fears. I've moved more times than I can remember, and then 1 week ago, I moved into Bra Road. But why? I mean, why do you choose that place? It doesn't seem very comfortable. It's cheap, that's why. He's got no money. Because the rent is cheap. I have so little money, he spoke to me. The rent? Obviously, that's the reason why it's cheap. Because the room is cursed. You mean not because there's no windows in the house? Cursed? Cursed how? The previous occupant, the man who lived there before I took the room, died there. I knew you would say something like this. Oh no! He was only a young man, but one morning he was found dead and no one could explain why. Surely no one would want to live in a room with a history like that. I didn't. When the letting agent recommended the place, I wavered. But I want books, and books cost money. Or however history is a small price to pay. This guy has got his priorities straight. Who cares if it's haunted? I want to fund my hobby. This guy knows where it's at. Hobby over everything. When I realized that mean I could buy more books, I signed the lease like lightning. Brave? or blinkered. After I moved in, I soon came to realize what I'd done. I realized how horrible that room's history really was. Gosh, was it really so awful? Horrible history. Wasn't there a series of books called Horrible History? I used to read them a lot in like primary school. How did the room's horrible history affect you, Natsume-san? What happened? At first, it was just a feeling. The feeling of beady eyes boring into my back, watching me. The Xiaobai? It's a Xiaobai who's been watching him. You don't remember horrible history? Really? There's like a whole series of books about it though. It's like mostly European history, but they had a few other countries as well. Yeah, it's literally called like horrible history. They're very nice, and they're like written in a very comedic way. This is how I got all my weird European history knowledge through those books. Do you think that might just have been your mind playing tricks on you? It was a Xiaobai? No, my mind doesn't know any tricks. It was someone else. Xiaobai. It's been one long nightmare ever since I was given the keys to the place. A nightmare? You've been having bad dreams, you mean? All the souls who died in that room lean over me in my sleep and try to strangle me. Sounds like regular old sleep paralysis, but they probably didn't know about its existence back then, so that really is horrible. And now I come to think of it, it happened again last night too. The very same night that Mr. Shen was raging agony from the poison in his body, I was on the verge of being suffocated silently by those miserable spirits in my room. This guy is having sleep paralysis from stress or something, I think. You simply must move out of the room as soon as possible. Yes, you're right, I know it. And that's why I'm already searching for the next room for history to call home. I think perhaps you should try to avoid a conversation with any kind of history, alright? Well, you should look for a home without history, not a home with history. Otherwise, I'm scared that you yourself will become history. Savage. Susato-san knows how to make the man listen. Of course, means a lot of the men is worried about the curse on my room as well. You mean Mr. Gary Depp? Yes, he knows that if people keep dying there, he'll never be able to rent it out again. Well, that's true. I, for one, wouldn't go near the place. Perhaps that may explain why the landlord pays so much attention to the guest lamp and his tenant's movement. I guess? He's worried about the well-being. He does seem to unusually keen interest in the amount of gas in the pipes. There must be a reason why he keeps such close tabs on the occupants of his let rooms. I mean, that makes sense. If someone already died there once before, he would want to make sure no one dies there again, right? What do you mean he pays so much attention to the gas lamps? Oh shit, we licked it. Nothing to do with you, Natsume-san. Please forget I said anything. Oh, now you're talking about me behind my back as well. What's important that Mr. Shakespeare isn't in fact dead at all? Once he's come round and is able to tell us what happened, we'll be able to get you released. Yes, please. Oh, I do hope you're right. Excuse me. Inspector Gregson. I couldn't help overhearing what you just said. On that note, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is that he's not dead, I guess. Shakespeare, I mean? Which do you want first? Always, every time. The bad news comes first. My hope is all you have. Hold on to it. That's my guiding principle. Right, well, in that case, the good news it is. Sorry, but it's just a lot easier to explain everything that way. Then why you ask me my preference? As you might have guessed, the victim, Mr. Shakespeare, was just unconscious. He's come round now. Okay, he's not dead. That's good. He saw it happen in all its terrifying glory. He's still being treated by doctors, but we've managed to get a written statement from him already. That's fast. Isn't that wonderful, Mr. Natsume? Oh, thank goodness, it's all over then. I can leave this somber cell and... Nope! That's where the bad news comes in, doesn't it? Sorry, no, that's not on the cards. What? Whatever not, Inspector. Mr. Shakespeare implicated someone as being responsible for what happened last night. Implicated someone? Oh dear, of course we all know where this is going. You don't mean... We do! I'm sorry to say I do, yes. He's pointed the finger at you, Natsume-san. By sweet poison did he seek to end my life. That wicked kite thief, Soseki Natsume! No! So I'm afraid you'll be appearing in court as planned. You'll be wanting to make the necessary preparations. No! Here we go! Once again, Soseki-san found himself having to take the dog in the Old Bailey. Whether his room was haunted or whether he was just terribly unlucky, I knew I had no choice. The following day, I would represent him in court and do my utmost to break the curse around that blighted him. Hey, okay, it's a bit sudden, but I'm gonna like call it a night for today. Cause I'm actually feeling a bit sleepy. I didn't really sleep very early last night. So we'll continue on Monday since tomorrow is Spyro. So Monday. Is this what I'm supposed to say? Here. Yeah. I'm sleepy. I slept pretty late last night. Okay, I shall see you on Monday. Probably Monday night again, I think. Yeah, same time, 9:30 or so. We'll try and go to the first checkpoint in the trial. Okay. Wait, yeah? Sunday, I mean yeah, tomorrow is I managed like for Ace Attorney. Yeah, tomorrow's Spyro at 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock at Spyro. Then on Monday we'll continue with AA, Ace Attorney. Something like that, okay? I think this week will be mostly Ace Attorney. And maybe Untitled Goose Game. I feel can I say about Untitled Goose Game for like, can I just like make a statement about Goose Game for a very quick moment? So the stupid Goose Game is like a joke game, right? I mean, even if you don't play, you know about the Goose Game, right? And it's supposed to be like a comedy game, so it's not. I dropped something again. I'll look for it later. It's a comedy game, so it's it's not. It's something you just make fun of, right? But I cannot clear the Goose Game because I'm fucking stupid. For real. I keep getting stuck at the exact same spot in the Goose Game. I have no idea how to proceed, and I tried clearing it like 3 different times with a very long break in between, so like maybe like a fresh perspective will like lead me to the solution or something, right? And for 3 times in a row, I've been stuck at the exact same spot. I don't know how to proceed. I'm stupid. I'm so fucking stupid. For real. So I recommended it to my friend because she was like looking for dumb games. So I recommended to her like the Goose Game, and she solved it on the first go. I'm just like, is it just me? I'm just like, is it just me? It's so stupid. So I told her where I was stuck at, and she was like, oh, you just have to pull one cupboard down. I'm just like, okay. Yeah. So now that I finally know how to clear that one part, thanks to my friend, not even by my own intelligence, but because my friend told me the solution, I'm going to try to clear the Goose Game again. So this coming week will be mostly AA, 1 Goose Game, and maybe 1 or 2 Spyro, but mostly AA. Yeah, I think that's gonna be the plan for this coming week. AA. Okay. Thanks for coming. I'm gonna head off to sleep early. I'm super sleepy for some reason. It's a good night for sleeping as well. Okay, so heading out. Thanks for coming again. Thanks for chilling out. See you tomorrow. Yeah, bye. Thanks for coming too. Thanks for coming as usual. Okay, bye bye. Good night. Have a good sleep. See you in for Spyro tomorrow.